Alright, so we back. Another week. Second week of March. Start off with the calendar for this month. This week. On Wednesday, we have core CPIs, month over month, and the year over year numbers. Unemployment claims on Thursday, and unemployment changes in the rates for Canada. We got preliminary GBP, and we have core PCE index. We also have job JOLTS openings. So these are the days we're looking at: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to have some injections, volatility injections in the market to the charts. Starting off with the dollar index. So last week we seen this expansive move higher, accumulating this internal range liquidity. Internal range buy side was tagged. Price traded off of it to end the week. Because this is the second week of March, we want to also look at the monthly candle for March's expansion, and look for some targets for this monthly candle. We already have seen, again, price trade above these two candles, the highs of these two candles here, and now has shown some pullback off of these candles. I don't necessarily like a previous quarter's high as a target for the monthly candle expansion, because if we look at the quarterly, and we are saying that prices already traded into this fair value gap and traded lower, right? This quarterly gap here, you see price just traded into it a little bit in last quarter, and then has started to trade off of it. You see that when price did open up in this quarter, which was January, it started to trade lower, accumulating, trading below this low here, this swing low, and now has started to trade higher. With 1 month left in this candle, I want to see this a move back towards the quarterly open, which is it'll be January's open. So from a quarterly time frame perspective, because I deem that the dollar has already started to shift lower, and I have 88.29 as the target for from a quarterly standpoint. And I do believe that the dollar is going to be weak for the foreseeable future. That's not to say we won't have some retracements like what we had last week, where we had this move up, to accumulate this internal range buy side liquidity. But ultimately, though, I don't believe that the dollar is strong, right? I think that this down move was to accumulate sell side liquidity, distribute it higher to these buy side, internal range buy side, and ultimately to start running lower back into, again, 94.62 and 89.12, and ultimately 88.29. So for me, I want to be anticipating this be a run on liquidity and price start to move lower. Now, if that does happen, we will need for price to come back to previous month's high and start looking to close below this. So that's what I'm anticipating for this week, for prices start showing me that, this was just a run on liquidity, and it's ultimately looking to start trading lower, offset longs, and to take it back lower. Go to the daily. The only thing that I didn't like about this is that it did not immediately start to show some rejection lower. Although we did have a swing created, you see that price just basically consolidated here again. So I want to see price start to show some movement back towards. I didn't. I don't have January's open, so let me put that. I wanted to start seeing it make some move back towards this opening price here, which is January's open, which is also the yearly open, the quarterly open, first quarter's open. So I typically just call this the yearly open. We know that this price here is what we want to start seeing a move back below. So again, back below the yearly open and back below the previous month's high would indicate to me that this was just a stop hunt, and prices, going to start trading lower. So yeah, that's what I want to see. Dollar get weak. Nasdaq. It's a lot of consolidation again still. Ultimately, from a monthly standpoint, again, this monthly candle had just opened. This is the second week into March, and so we've already had a move higher. We see this, and now we want to see that now price has started to trade below the month open, that we continue to see it make a move towards this previous quarter's low here, and this area, this red shaded area in here, what I have outlined for me is anywhere in which price could start to seek some support down into this area. Weekly time frame. Again, we had this gap in price from the last week of February to last week. We've seen a huge gap down as seen price trade back up to sort of rebalance that volume imbalance, and then start to trade lower to end the week as well. See a indecisive candle, but again, my idea is that prices already shifted, and although we seeing like a lot of back and forth this week here, this candle here has a pretty big ranges on its wicks. You have this candle here also. You see that it's still closing bearish though. We have these long wicks on this on last week's candle. It's still closing bearish though. So again, previous month's low is still the target. Previous quarter's low is also still the target for Nasdaq, and that's what we will be aiming for this week. We want to see some heavy bearish sentiment show up this week. to see price stay, show some willingness to stay below March's low, or March's open rather. Just cascade lower. We've already got that. Another swing high created, running this internal range liquidity. So those are still the target. Previous week's low at 24,345, and previous month's low is at 24,244. And if we get real heavy, 23,900 are the targets in NASDAQ. ES, again monthly, we see that ES is already below previous month's low. So we want to see price stay heavy here and start to see previous quarter's low. Weekly time frame, nothing different. Price that actually closed below its previous month's low last week. We also see this probably should have marked that out, but I don't anticipate it could possibly come back into the week open, maybe into this volume imbalance. I don't really like that idea though, but for the sake of having that marked on the chart, and this is also a monthly volume imbalance, right? So something to be aware of. Again, I don't anticipate price coming back into this volume imbalance, but it's, like I said, it's good to have it on the chart. I want to see price stay heavy here. Maybe use previous month's low as some support for lower prices. Say first target would be for the week would be 66.56, and if we get some, ultimately though, we want to see previous quarter's low be taken. So this would be my draw on liquidity for the week. This volume imbalance here on the daily. Dow already below previous month's low, and creating so far, the beginning of the month, we have this swing point here looking like it's forming. Um, so for the monthly, only target we have right now is previous quarter's low. This is the ultimate low of the range right now. This would also be a target. This would be the range low. So this would be the monthly target, first monthly target. This would be the second monthly target. But first things first, we will be looking for that weekly. Again, looking for a bearish uh, price to continue to seek lower prices. This is the last area where liquidity was taken on the weekly time frame. So this would be the first target for me if I was looking for a price to trade lower. This would be my first draw. It's 46,574. You also have this weekly volume imbalance. First target will be previous week's low. And this for a weekly objective 46,574 ultimate. These are the points that I'm looking for here. Now we do have price last week did trade into uh, this gap right here. Also, has also ran all of the liquidity, the low resistance liquidity of this on the buy side of the curve. So last point here, we could possibly see some retracement in Dow, but ultimately though we want to see these areas be reached for. Russell, I haven't really been. I just added this index to my watch list, as it also correlates with the stock indexes. I'm So as you can see, the Russell and the Dow look pretty much the same, right? In terms of its correlation and its price movements, it has been uh, showing some heavy selling pressure the last couple of weeks. Well, last week as well, in step in sync with Dow, which were the two weakest indexes last week. So we see that while the Dow has ran all of its buy side of the curve liquidity, Russell still has some some liquidity levels resting on its buy side. So we want to be looking for these two if we do get some selling pressure. Want to be targeting that, and we want to be looking for a possible run down into here as well. That's what we got for Russell. Gold. Monthly. Want to see if we can get back above all-time highs. Possibly close on an all-time high note, or at least trade back above it with this with last week's price action running both the previous week's buy side and sell side. This doesn't signal a reversal to me, but it signals that we have this manipulative move to the downside to take it higher. So this is what my target is for the week. We can see some heavy bullish pressure, some bullish momentum show up in the markets in conjunction with the weaker dollar. That would be the run. That would be the target. 56.26. It's possible. I want to see today's price action be bullish. So I want to see a back above these two areas here. Possible close inside of this and a complete fill of this fair value gap that we have right here. It doesn't have to be today that fair value gap is filled, but I ultimately want to see price above it, trade back into it, find support to go back to that 56.26 area. So we'll see. For the week targets, we don't have to get to 56.26 to end the week. It will be within the next 2 weeks though. But for now, we're looking at previous week's high at 54.52, and the month open. We want to see price start seeking to get back above monthly open at 53.68. So or 61. So those are the two draw on liquidities for this week. Previous week's high and March high, and March open rather. Silver. We have silver pretty weak. Look at the monthly. See monthly open high above previous month's high. Traded down to previous quarter's high, finding some support there. We want to start seeing price in conjunction with gold to start reaching back for its all-time high as well. I don't know if we would get that in silver, but that is the goal. Last week, same as in gold, it traded above the previous week's buy side and sell side levels. So now we want to continue to see price just reach higher. This being a manipulative move for a price to run higher. I think that if we have any targets or any draws, it would be the opening of January's price, which is 104.600, and if we were to grade the mid-level point of this wick, we would be looking at 113.20. Those would be the targets. See what we get this week. Daily. So my anticipation is that, again, we start closing higher. We start showing some willingness to trade higher back into the previous week high here and seeking March's open. So I want to see today's expansion. I want to see price close bullish. But we are consolidating here inside of last Tuesday's price action. So again, we have here swing it's been formed. Here we want to start seeing it higher now. Oil, crazy move last Friday. So we now got oil at $91. Still got some legs in it. We could possibly see 95 this week. I think that this run is so crazy, and I've been watching oil for a while. I saw this stop hunt below here, and price started to shift. I was been looking for this, and now we actually getting it. This is crazy. So we looking at 95.03. Back into this level, and man, this is the last area where buy side was taking. right? So we want to see that. It could possibly retrace this week, but from a monthly time frame perspective, we want to see 95. That's the draw. Man, this weekly candle is crazy. I don't even know what to say about oil then, other than we just continue to expect it to trade higher right now until it starts to show some willingness to want to get back into this range that it's created. This is crazy though. Again, 95.03 is the target for this week and above and beyond for the foreseeable future. You also see these these gas futures, which is closely correlated these with oil. We looking at 285 and $3 in our RBOBs, and we already have NY Harbor futures, which is also an oil asset, um, already above that high that was set on September 11th, 2023. We don't have uh, we don't have gas futures or uh, crude oil futures just above that liquidity point just yet. So we looking for price to take those. We have Bitcoin showing some movement higher to begin the month. Now we want to start seeing price trade lower with the goal of 49,000 being the target. I want to see the price of Bitcoin stay below this point here. And I think that you can see it get real weak. this move here. We already have a change in the state right here, and it needs to stay low here. Start to see previous month's low, and again that 58,760, which is the number that I've been waiting on for since this hard drop lower. We're now seeing price start to want to get back below there. For XRP, the target is here, $1.11. We have XRP at the weakest, so XRP should be the one that will fall harder, or will lead the move down, rather. Ethereum, same. We're looking for weakness, and 1742.80 is the target for Ethereum. Tesla, 383, the target. Possibly even lower, 357. From a monthly standpoint. Yeah. We could see it trade below this 383.76, and see if it wants to get to 355.39. Apple, I'm bearish on Apple. I want to see previous quarter's low be the target at 244.02. Could possibly see that from a weekly time frame perspective. Yeah, I'm bearish on Apple as well. Wayfair, another play I've been studying for a while. Called this move up, and it has started to retrace back into its range. So from a monthly time frame, we could possibly see some more downside. Nothing too clear on the monthly. Okay, we got some bounce there from this volume imbalance last week. This close, stop hunts. I want to see if it'll get back below 770.42, possibly trade into 68.85. See if it wants to get into there, and then we possibly could see a run higher, or at least for price to start trying to make its move back higher. Invesco QQ, weekly time frame, some monthly here. I want to see if it can find some willingness to get back below 580. You do have this trade into this fair value gap here, and then price has just been consolidating, right? It's already traded above there, and now it's starting to run it lower. So we see if we get some distribution to 580. Uh, that looks pretty decent. We have no shift to the upside. We just see price continue to take lows. So until it starts to shift higher, it starts to take highs. The target is 580. And on Invesco QQ, Netflix, we seeing that stop hunt below these lows, and now a run higher from a weekly time frame perspective. This is interesting. Can't get a good read on this. I would like to see a week, or this is a monthly chart. So I would like to see like this week close bullish, right? If we can fill in this gap, and then maybe April start to like show some retracement off of these two run higher as for a move like this. Here, 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 and then back above, all time highs, possibly. There's a monthly time frame though, so that's a lot to ask for. And that will take a while for it to play out. So like, yeah, and I can't get a good read on this. You just have to wait for more information. Possibly see something happen around April 20th. Huh, that's interesting. That'll be the next earnings. Yeah, next earnings report coming out. So here's the range that is trading in currently right now. You see it's in already in a premium. So we could possibly see some movement to the downside here from this area. Just gotta wait for more information right now. BWEN. Something that I've been watching for about a month now. I initially anticipated price trading higher into 465, and since then it's just been selling back down. So I don't really have a good read on this. I would say that this is a fair value gap that will send price lower, possibly back below 188. But I don't know about this right now. No real solid indication I could get off of it. Earnings report is also about to come out this week, so This is interesting. We could see a move down into again 188 and possibly even lower than that 161. So that'll be interesting. See if this gap holds here. This is a stock that's also been uh, kind of just like grinding. Right. I wanted to see it below 2760. I wanted to see it below there a while ago. It's not there yet, so I'm still just waiting for that to happen. Palantir, watching this. We got the, I wanted to see price back into 155. Got that move back into there. Now I want to see if Palantir can stay above 147. If it can stay above 147, we possibly get some move back into all-time highs. This is the range that we're trading in right now. So I want to see how this stock performs this week. Again, we've already got that 155 area. 147.44 will be the hard line in the sand. If it is bullish, I don't want to see it come back below here. If it's bearish, it should start closing below this level. And if it does start to close below this level, then the target is 126. And again, 118.93, 118.05. Yeah. So I want to see what price does this week here. It'll be again, it'll be a hard line. Take these off. The hard line will be 147. See if price wants to get back below there and close below there. These are the ETF Russell shares. We still got Russell, the index Russell trading lower. So the price that we're looking for Russell is now 245, 86. We already have the ETF for ES. Want to see that trade below 66 69. If we get a good run lower, a move into this volume imbalance for the target on the week. And that is it. We already have dollar is open and it's making a move back above this area in liquidity. So again, we still want to see whether price will stay below this 90 99.48. If dollar is bearish, this run higher isn't necessarily concerning. For the week, I will want to see it stay for the week. I want to see it close below 99.48 if it is bearish. If it closes above, then the 100.409 is the target. So that's it.